In this video review, we delve into Orson Scott Card's fifth installment of the Shadow series, titled Shadows in Flight, published in the year 2012. This novel marks a significant departure from the established formula of the previous entries in the Shadow Quintet. Across 237 pages, Card takes readers on a journey with Bean and his three children as they venture into the stars, offering a unique and compelling twist to the series' narrative. Due to Card choosing to mix things up in terms of setting and protagonists, we end up with a novel that at least exhibits contrasting properties to its predecessors, as evidenced by changes in nearly all subjective figures of merit. Firstly, the novel shifts towards science fantasy rather than adhering strictly to hard science fiction on the sci-fi Mohs scale. The primary contributing factor is the space setting and the relativistically induced time dilation, which causes the protagonists to exist contemporaneously with the now adult Ender, who is also known as Speaker for the Dead, at this time. The most significant departure from previous Enderverse novels is the constrained literary setting and narrative scale, primarily confined to a single, relatively cramped spaceship. This alone imparts a sense of claustrophobia. The restricted setting aligns with a modest cast of relevant characters, numbering roughly 4, generously speaking. Despite the distinctiveness of the setting and tone in this particular story, compared to the series, it does not introduce many new concepts or novel ideas. We have witnessed most of them in one form or another already. In terms of critical reception, Shadows in Flight was nominated for the Goodreads Choice Award for Science Fiction in the year 2012. Its popular reception is reflected in the combined rating of 3.9 out of 5 stars based on numerous reviews gathered from various aggregator sites. As with all of the other books that are part of the Enderverse, you should be aware of potential spoilers during the following plot summary. In this instance, parts of Ender's Game, Ender's Shadow, Shadow of the Hegemon, Shadow Puppets, and Shadow of the Giant might be in jeopardy of being spoiled. Also, during the discussion there might be minor spoilers of Shadows in Flight. Heed this warning and take the necessary precautions. The plot of Shadows in Flight takes place, for the most part, on the starship Herodotus, which left Earth at the beginning of the 23rd century after the events of Shadow of the Giant. Bean, together with 3 of his children that he had together with Petra, namely Ender, Carlotta and Cincinnatus, who is also nicknamed Sergeant, are on board of the ship. All of them have the genetic alteration that induces extremely high intellects at the cost of a continuous, uncontrollable growth, which eventually will be deadly. This condition is known as having Anton's key turned. At a relativistic speed, these 4 have been subjectively traveling roughly for 5 years. However, due to time dilation, the external universe has experienced the passing of 4 centuries. The initial idea of this desperate plan was to give scientists years, if not decades, to find a cure to this unfortunate condition, even at the cost of Bean having to separate his 3 genetically altered children from their mother and other siblings. Indeed, Ender, Carlotta and Sergeant exhibit exceptional intellectual properties at their young age. However, their isolation and confinement on the Herodotus for most of their entire life brings with it its own problems, in addition to the unsurprising roadblocks related to ship and equipment maintenance. However, everything changes once the crew of the Herodotus encounter an unknown ship in geosynchronous orbit around an uncharted planet in the habitable zone of its star. One source of contention of this novel lies in the portrayal of its protagonists, namely Enda Carlotta and Sargent. Despite their exceptional intelligence for their age, the challenge arises when their characters may not simply be very captivating or interesting. This stems mainly from their tendency to exhibit an air of superiority, entitlement, and elitism, with no apparent intellectual norm to serve as a basis for comparison. If everyone is hyper-intelligent, no one is. The exception in this discussion could be found in their pseudonymous exchanges with other researchers on distant worlds, but, well, they are on distant worlds, so it's just an exchange of text messages. These character flaws are somewhat anticipated and understandable, considering that these three children have been raised in extreme isolation, and to be honest, you could also argue that there was a total lack of being raised at all. The latter part of the novel begins to address these shortcomings, hinting at potential character growth. On the flip side, the novel's true highlights emerge through the exploration of the unknown ship and the subsequent revelations related to the Formix. This aspect takes center stage, potentially even overshadowing the protagonist's shortcomings. Furthermore, Bean's story arc concludes with a dignified and satisfying ending. Overall, Orson Scott Card adds with Shadows in Flight a distinctively different type of novel to his Shadow series, with some interesting new insights related to the Formix. Furthermore, this installment serves as a fitting conclusion to Bean's personal journey, solidifying him as one of the standout protagonists in the entire Enderverse. While the novel excels in providing new perspectives and background information for fans of the Enderverse, it does face challenges. The portrayal of the three young protagonists, while consistent with the narrative, can be somewhat grating and, at times, makes the reading experience daunting. However, the richness of the Enderverse ensures that enthusiasts will find plenty to appreciate in Shadows in Flight, making it a must-read for those eager to delve into the intricacies of Card's expansive and captivating universe. If you liked this video, you may also enjoy the other reviews and content on my channel. Feel free to leave a comment if you want to discuss the novels or if you want to suggest other books that I should review in the future. Please consider upvoting and subscribing, it is much appreciated. Thank you for watching and until next time.